Old Mutual Insurance, Mr. Andrew Makumbi. Please stand up. Yeah, Al-Hajj, our prayer and request is that the word acting, soon henceforth, thereby you do what they need for. May Allah bless you. Andrew, I hope I've spoken well. You see me after this, it's not for free. I'm helping you do. It's difficult for you to go to Al-Hajj, otherwise they will see you as a bribing person. Al-Hajj, because I'm Ibrahim and you're Ibrahim, you know what to do. And once it comes in, if you don't call me to your office, you keep drinking coffee. So I have done my part. Now allow me invite Paul Mohammed again to come and invite our regulator. Please join me in welcoming Chairman Paul.
Once again, good morning. Our regulator is not new to any of us. And the team had shared the pages and pages of the profile. However, thankfully, because in this room, we all have an idea of who he is, I'll sum it up quite well. Our regulator has played a pivotal role in shaping Uganda's insurance landscape. As CEO of the IRA and chairman of the East African Insurance Service Supervisors Association, he brings over 2 decades of hands-on experience in finance, regulation, and supervision, underpinned by a deep commitment to governance, policy development, and institutional strength. A fellow of the Australian and New Zealand Institute of Insurance and Finance, ANZIF, Al-Hajj has led far-reaching reforms that have strengthened the regulatory frameworks and advanced industry growth, from risk-based supervision to bank assurance and corporate governance standards. His influence extends continentally throughout the tenure as immediate past president of the Africa Insurance Organization, where he championed collaboration and capacity building. A respected voice in finance and regulation, he continues to drive progress and shape resilient, future-ready insurance systems. I'm sure each and every one of you can attest to that summary description. And it is why I'd like to request that we all join me in welcoming Dr. Al-Hajj Kadnabi Lubega to give us his remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our keynote speaker, the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, who has already been introduced to you. Our guests from outside the country, the chairperson of IBAU, the convener. I have noticed that whoever comes up here has people to introduce specifically. So also allow me introduce my colleagues from the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Can you stand up, Mr. Musa Sebufu, Manager Actuary, Madam Mariam Nalunkuma, Manager Corporate Affairs, Marion Nanchawasaja, PA to the CEO. We have, I think, start with Mr. Njenga Michael, Senior Legal. We have Stallion and another name. He has funny names. You can think he's from outside the country. We have the manager of Western region who is in charge of and sits here in Mbarara. He's Ben Bonnie Okero. Bonnie Okero. I am going to forget the other one. The other one is Phoebe Nakuo Nakas. And we have Gilbert also from IRA. Also, we have other colleagues who are outside who are doing other jobs. Allow me say that I am related to many of the things which have been spoken here. The main sponsor, Mirai, I am also related to Mirai. So as the CEO here eats the things, I want to remind you once again that it was on the 15th of August, 1992, that the three of us, myself, Professor Twaha Kawase, and the late Sulaiman Kavuru, we sat in that office and we started First Insurance. So I'm related to you. Secondly, they talked and introduced many people from outside, but those who interested Gava most were from Rwanda. I'm also related to you people in Rwanda. So, yeah, can you doubt me? And just to remind the audience, because of my need for making my personal money, in 1995, when I was working with First Insurance, I said I must create something which can make for me money. So I thought of opening up an insurance brokerage firm. Now I scanned around. In Uganda, we had so many. In Kenya, so many. In Tanzania, there were many. Then I scanned in Rwanda. There was nothing. Rwanda had never heard of an insurance brokerage firm in 1995. So I went there. I went to the BNR, the central bank. I opened up the first brokerage firm, and it was called Global Insurance Brokers. It operated for about 2-3 years, and we closed it. And all my money, I had bought things expensively from Uganda and took them to Rwanda. All of it was potato. So You people from Rwanda, you owe me. Allow me to go to my remarks on a serious note. As Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, reminds us, trust is earned when actions meet words. In our industry, those actions are tested at the moment of claims settlement. May I welcome you all to the 8th annual conference of the Insurance Brokers Association of Uganda here in Mbarara. As we reflect on the importance of trust in financial systems, it is also fitting that our keynote speaker comes from an institution at the very heart of trust. You can all agree with me that the central bank is indeed, if we do not have trust, money will be useless. Holding those notes will be useless. But since we can have that, and he is the gatekeeper, we are with the best person. It is my honor to welcome the Deputy Governor, therefore, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, to the insurance fraternity. You are most welcome, Professor. Your work continues to anchor on stability, confidence, and integrity within the Uganda's financial ecosystem. I'm happy that you also accepted to be an insurance ambassador. And I want to thank you, and can we give him a befitting applause for that? Indeed, Professor has done a great job in marketing and making sure that people understand insurance, even where all of us are not. Allow me also applaud the chairperson, Mr. Paul Mohammed, and the entire organizing committee, spearheaded, which has done a great job. Mr. Edward Nambafu, thank you for a job well done. I want to thank also the Insurance Brokers Association of Uganda for organizing this timely conference under the theme, Trust Reimagined, delivering on the promise. Thank you, and thank you very much. Our sincere appreciation also goes to the sponsors and partners who have supported IBAU in putting together this colorful conference, and to all of you insurance players and other stakeholders who have attended it to make it meaningful. Above all, here in Mbarara. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda's insurance sector continues to demonstrate resilience and growth. As of 2025, gross written premiums, we noted that it surpassed the 2 trillion mark to 2.02 trillions. And this reflects a strong upward trajectory, because you remember that 2024, we had 1.76 trillion in gross written premiums. In quarter 4 of 2025, we also noted, and that is the end of year, we also noted that the premiums which were underwritten through the brokerage firms was 567.58 billion, compared to 545.6 billion in 2024. This reflects a meager 4.02% growth in premiums going through the brokers. And in proportional terms, brokers account for 28.03% of the total industry premiums. And this, we need to have a discussion on what needs to be done for more premiums to go through the brokers. And at the Insurance Regulatory Authority, we separate the brokers and the insurance brokers and the reinsurance brokers. So premiums going through the reinsurance brokers was 63.74 billion in 2025. We must all note that beneath the growth lies the fundamental challenges. Insurance uptake, which has been mentioned here, is still work in progress. But I'm happy to note that insurance penetration, or the contribution of insurance to the GDP, can remain not so high, but still insurance becomes meaningful to many Ugandans. Ladies and gentlemen, growth needs to be translated into inclusivity. Let us all market and focus on those insurance policies which touch on the lives of the ordinary Ugandans. Historically, Uganda's insurance landscape has leaned towards large corporate clients who account for a significant share of the premiums we report on. Meanwhile, micro, small and medium enterprises, informal sector workers, and individual households remain largely uninsured or underinsured. This imbalance creates a trust deficit, as many individuals still perceive insurance as complex, inaccessible, or irrelevant. Claims experience, product mismatches, and limited awareness reinforce this skepticism. Therefore, reimagining trust requires us to shift from the transactional insurance to transformational insurance. Insurance which works for the ordinary Ugandans. Insurance brokers, as we know, are central in rebuilding trust. By definition, insurance brokers act on behalf of the client and not for the insurers. And this means you must continue to provide independent advice. You must continue to negotiate optimal coverage for your clients. In Uganda, their role is not only theoretical, it is measurable, and it is indeed impactful. Can we put our hands together to thank the job which is being done by the insurance brokers in Uganda? According to the Insurance Insider of 2025, brokers currently contribute over 27% of the total gross premiums in the market. And I already told you of the figures which we have here, where we need to see that historically, brokers were contributing 30 and above of the insurance premiums. This one needs to be worked on so that the brokers can still go up to 40% of the premiums which go through the brokers and the businesses. Structurally, Uganda has 55 licensed insurance brokers who are operating as intermediaries within a broader ecosystem of 140 licensed insurance players. Regionally and globally, the brokerage model is even more pronounced. The global insurance brokerage and agents market is valued at United States dollars 431 billion in the year 2025. And this is projected to near double in the year 2034, according to the Atlas magazine. And in more mature African markets, such as South Africa, and indeed Kenya, brokers dominate the commercial and corporate risk placement. And often, their percentage contribution or the share of the premiums which go through the brokers is more than 50%. This underscores the critical insight where a strong brokerage sector correlates with a higher insurance penetration and stronger customer trust. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not only brokers which need to help us, but I think also the underwriters need to advise their clients, their direct clients, to use the services of brokers. Because this is the only way we will truly deliver on the promise of insurance. We must collectively address the 4 priorities. And the 4 priorities, I attempted to put them as below. 1, inclusion by design. We must develop products which are tailored to the micro, small, and medium enterprises, like the people who are in the markets, like the people who are in the informal sector. We must give importance to agriculture value chain. For those people who are farmers, either agricultural farmers or livestock farmers, must all be supported. And the informal sector workers need to be supported. The people in circles, even if one is in Kabale, even if one is in Mbale. As C.K. Prahalad, who is an author, observed in one of his observations, he said, the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid is real. The question, therefore, is, are we designing insurance products which talk to the market? And we need to answer these questions if we are to move at a speed which is going to feed into the 10-fold development agenda of government. The second observation or the second priority should be on simplification of insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move away from those policies. People continue to say that I did not understand this, I did not understand that. Let's use plain English, which anyone without insurance background can understand. Insurance must be easy to understand. Insurance must be easy to access. And we must, as a matter of priority, have easy way to claim settlements. We must therefore consider a growing SME importing goods through Malaba may not fully understand the marine insurance which we are selling. A broker steps in, therefore, not just to sell a policy, but to explain, to negotiate, and to ensure that an appropriate cover has been arranged for this broker. Or take a school in Mbarara seeking liability or property insurance. Without proper guidance, they may either under-insure or over-insure. And we only come to tell them of these implications at the time of claim settlement. Brokers, you bridge this knowledge gap, and then trust grows where complexity declines. The third priority is technology and innovation. We may not need to re-emphasize, because as the industry, we put much emphasis on innovation. And that's why we created the Innovations Awards and the Insurance Week. So ladies and gentlemen, digital platforms, embedded insurance products, and mobile distributions are a must-have. Low cost is important. We must extend reach, and we must also improve the customer experience. The fourth priority, we must professionalize. And we must look at the ethics of the players. The creation of the Insurance Training College, and indeed the creation of making sure that you have internal retooling of your people, is intended to achieve that. And brokers, you can also help us. You are the trusted advisors. You are the transparent intermediaries. And indeed, you are the champions of clients' interests. Trust is not marketed. It is earned through consistent conduct. At the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, we indeed recognize the dynamic nature of our times. We are committed to creating an enabling regulatory environment that supports innovation while protecting the interests of the policyholders. And indeed, we must promote inclusive insurance and strengthen the market conduct and consumer protection at all times. We recognize the brokers as the critical partners in achieving these goals. Ladies and gentlemen, reimagining trust is not a slogan. It is a responsibility. It calls on all of us to, among others, one, move beyond urban and the corporate concentration. We need to move out of our comfort zone. We need to move out of those products which have been making profits for us. We need to attempt those products which are daring, and we need those products and ideas which can challenge the status quo. We need to design for the underserved majority. We need to deliver on claims and promises which are consistently. And when I say delivering on claims, I don't mean that you are not paying claims, because from the premiums underwritten last year of 2 trillion, about 950 billions was paid in claims. So around close to 50%, and that is commendable. You may remember where we started from. Those of you who have been around longer, like the Solomons. We used to have management expenses contributing 60% of the gross written premiums. And claims were only 10%. So if right now we are at 50% as claim settlement, we need to give ourselves another round of applause. If we succeed, insurance will no longer be seen as a luxury. It will become what it was always meant to be. It was meant to be a tool for resilience, dignity, and economic empowerment. Together, let us reimagine trust and build an insurance industry that truly serves every Ugandan. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and I want to say that the brokers are once again very important in the journey to help all of us as we protect our gains. Thank you very much for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, once again, join me in appreciating the regulator. The regulator has talked about so many things which are very important for us as sector players. But I think for me, what comes out clearly is that all of us must dare to innovate, to get into markets where we've not tried, where we have not tested, markets that probably don't seem to make sense. But how do we also continue to make sure that people at the grassroots can understand the message that we are communicating? And as we continue to do that, the sectors that have not yet been tapped, which is the small and medium enterprises, which we commonly refer to as omuntu wa wansi, omuntu wa bulijjo, those that start the pyramid. We need to understand them and design products that meet their needs. I think the regulator clearly alluded to the fact that we have continuously improved in paying claims. So I think it's important that we clap for ourselves for that job well done. It's important that I remind you that the regulator is Alhaji Kadunabi Ibrahim Lubega. I want to tell you that my name is Ibrahim Karure. In so many aspects, we seem to agree with one another. There is one thing that Alhaji said where I don't agree with him. The people from Rwanda, I am not related to you in any way. So my agenda with you continues to be in a straight line. So your relationship with Alhaji, kudos, continue. Me, I am not your relative. Not even my ancestors came from Rwanda. So I needed to clearly highlight that so that we are on the same page. Ladies and gentlemen, on the tables we have QR codes where our admin team notices that many of you have not scanned. Kindly scan the QR codes and do the needful. Those QR codes should be able to lead you to the community, should be able to get you a lot of information, should be able to allow you share some feedback. So kindly scan and share with us feedback. It's important for me and for my community to appreciate. I have a special relationship with a brokerage firm called Padre Pio. Can I request Mrs. Irene Kego and Mrs. Christine Kasoma to stand up for recognition? Thank you very much. Alhaji, my special relationship with Padre Pio is that Christine is my mother. So for peace and for culture, I need to make sure that that line is handled, and then we can be able to proceed in peace. Otherwise, when I was moving, she kept on saying, "My son, have you forgotten me? What are you trying to do?" Then I said, "My mom, I'll handle you with immediate effect." Insurance on a continuous level requires capacity building, and there are players that have enabled this. Allow me to recognize the principal of the college, Mr. Saul Seremba. Now that I have done all that, allow me make mention that our next speaker is my boss, but it's not possible that I introduce him, because when I looked at his CV and mine, I remembered the principles of parallel lines. They never meet. His line is up, mine is down. He's a professor, he's a regulator, so I felt that it's not me that can introduce him. I decided to bring a senior citizen, not only in the country, but also in the sector. The only entertainer that we have to come and introduce him. Mr. Solomon Obondo, please come and speak the English.
Thank you very much, Gava Ibrahim, son of Mrs. Christine Kasoma. And let me also declare that Alhaji Kadunabi is my uncle, now that we are taking that road. And therefore, the remote relationship that might get us into Rwanda, I want to associate myself with that as well. Muraho. Mamara eneza. Amakuru yanyu. Okay, mwakoze. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak the English as I have been told to the best of my ability. And I want to leave an assignment with you, Gava, since you're a researcher. At the end of my presentation, I'd like you to tell the conference why February has less days than all the other months. And I also want to ask the person I'm introducing to allow, because what was said of him in the magazine has a disclaimer. And I want to request that he allows that for future introductions, this disclaimer is always carried along because it is important. If you see it, it says, "Bear with me, this is the best I could do." Summaries from a 20-page bio. So if he's indulged, you also do the same to me. When I realized that many Solomons were emerging, I also declared myself Solomon the first. And I reserve the right to declare Solomon the second. So any person you call Solomon starts from being Solomon the third. The first and the second, I do know. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker has been presented in the magazine, which is good for carry away. But my professor told me that never listen to somebody, never believe him, unless you know him and you trust what he's saying. And to trust, we need to know the person who is speaking to us. As an academic, as a scholar, it has been very well presented. And normally when he speaks, people say, this is truly a student of the London School of Economics. They used to coordinate CII studies. And those who were lucky to go and study in London, they were connected to the London School of Economics. It gives us much joy. And those who read magazines, you will find the accolades being mentioned about the state and status of the Ugandan economy and the Ugandan currency. The Iran-American war notwithstanding, I think our currency is rated among the fourth most stable in Africa. You will tell us, I don't want to imagine it. And many a time, the leaders of our central bank have been saluted. We are happy to salute you, sir, because we know the people who make it possible. And this is not only in Uganda, but regionally, there are several accolades. As a member of the panel of experts and consultant on currency policy, not only in Uganda, but at global level, as a World Bank consultant, a team leader. Many years ago, Alaji, you remember, the Institute coordinated FinScope studies. But the focal point was Professor Augustus Nuwagaba. He doesn't only do this for money. In fact, most of the money he gets, he gives away. Because he's a Rotarian in very good standing. He's a Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Muyenga. Since 2021-22, he was a president. He's standing at the level of major donor. Those who have donated over $10,000 to the foundation. You can clap for that. And therefore, when you are talking about the bottom of the pyramid, you have someone who understands what is at the bottom of the pyramid. Because these monies that the Rotarians contribute, they go to improve the livelihoods of communities, eradicate disease, improve literacy, and so many other associated ills in the community. So he's a person who understands poverty. Not poor though, but he understands poverty. So he has a message for the grassroots community, Omuntu Wawansi. We are proud of the numerous presentations he has made worldwide. But interestingly also, Professor Nuwagaba drives in this morning from a meeting as the head of laity of a parish church in Kabale. So you can imagine, not a diocese, a parish. The deputy governor of the central bank, he controls the national currency, he controls the national monetary policy, and also addresses the church at the grassroots. I am sure there are lessons to learn from that, and it tells us to go down to the grassroots. So most of your concerns, Al-Haji, are answered. He remains a consultant for the United Nations Development Program. He remains a consultant for the African peer review mechanism. And when I was introducing the regional presidents to him, he seemed to have a word for each person. He seems to know the experts in Rwanda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, and we are proud of that. He's a winner of the International Award for Significant Contribution to World Society, and he appears in the World Who is Who 2004 on page 36, where he was awarded the Golden Jubilee Medal for his significant contribution to Uganda's development. Mr. Langat, Uganda is a leading developing country in East Africa, and it is written here. And the person who is responsible is here. We can discuss this at tea. Thank you very much indeed. We are proud of that, Professor Augustus Nwagaba. And he's an international consultant for the review and design of the strategic plan for the East African Community partner states. Just last year, in 2025, Professor Augustus Nwagaba won a certificate of excellency in the World Book of Records. For that, we clap massively, because I don't know how many people will get that. And the citation was for his significant work in financial inclusion. And this wasn't given by Solomon on a microphone. This was awarded by the British House of Commons on the 13th September 2025. Congratulations, Augustus. Ladies and gentlemen, I could say and talk and tell you a lot more. And the rest you'll be hearing as he continues with his presentation. It's my distinct honor. Gava, is it mine to invite a guest of honor to the podium? And before I do, have you found an answer to my question? As the research continues, you realize that whereas February has less days, July and August each have 31 days. And it was during the reign of Augustus Caesar, after Julius Caesar. By the way, Julius Caesar wasn't an emperor, but Augustus Caesar was. Because Julius Caesar was a dictator, Augustus Caesar also wanted to make his fame. He went and stole one day from February and added it to August. So August has 31 days, February has less days from 30. It's my pleasure to invite Professor Augustus Nwagaba to come and deliver the keynote address this morning. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Solomon. And since everybody said there's people to introduce, let me also introduce Solomon. You remain there. Because I don't think that I have anybody from Bank of Uganda here, so we are together in the Rotary Club of Muyenga. We are Rotarians, and we are serving communities. We do not have any money to boast around, but we simply have a large heart to make sure that a society, let me tell you, a society only becomes relevant, only becomes vital. The vitality of a society is derived from the fact that you are looking at the vulnerable people in that community. That's what I was saying. So thank you very much. So that's why we are in Rotary. So I want to commend all Rotarians in this August House, and I want to give you greetings from the bank, of course, standing Arihaji on the protocol that has been produced, but I will pick out the brother of mine. Again, you can stand up for recognition of a very, very long time fighting with this sector in Uganda, Arihaji. And Arihaji, I think my mother told me, people need to be thanked when they are still alive. I think you stand again and people can really clap for you. Here we have one of our leading artists, the Ugandans, I think you know, Chameleon. He has a song, Basima Bakozechi, Abagenze, tetwagala nti tusiima abakoze ki abagenze. In the English language is saying, let's not thank people when they are in a coffin. Let's thank people when they are still what? Recognizing us that we are appreciating exactly what they are doing. So we are very glad for the insurance sector. For us, from the Bank of Uganda, we are very happy when we see insurance coming up. That's why I'm here. I'm supposed to be, as you have already heard, we had a synod. Those who are in Church of Uganda, you know what a synod is. And I'm representing my parish. We also have a meeting for 2 days, but I only sat yesterday and I'm here. I don't know what you're going to tell my Bishop Haji. that I'm supposed, I think it's the Hajj who has taken me away for the second day. You have to explain very, very, very well. So we are very here this morning, and it's an honor to be here, to be part of this meeting, and also this very important conference, which is gathering insurance brokers together in the region, and also to commend the association for this forum for choosing a very, very good theme. I think you did clap for ourselves. Very, very good theme. Our brothers in I think Rwanda have been calculating the frequency of how the word Rwanda was mentioned, how many times Rwanda has been mentioned, about 9 times already in this, and also want to mention it again. That my house is only 12 kilometers from Rwanda. So you can see that Alhaji now I even beat you in the relationship. I'm from Kabare and I don't need even a vehicle to just go to Rwanda. We are just bordering Rushachi in Kabare, and I've done a lot of work with the Rwanda government. I've worked with all your ministers, with Nshuti Manase, with the Musoni, with Deno de Kaberuka, before he went to African Development Bank. So if you see anything coming out, especially from Minikofin, they are equivalent, they are Minister of Finance and Planning. It is something which we also will put a brick there. And if you see anything bad, maybe that's your own problems. But we have done a lot of work in Kenya. We have a lot of work in Tanzania. We have done a lot of work in Burundi. I'm the one who has been writing your strategic plans at the East African community level. What have we been doing to ensure that as a region, in economics, we have what you call the theory of second best. The theory of second best in economic nomenclature means if you cannot talk to World Bank as Uganda, as Rwanda, as Burundi, as Tanzania, then let's have one voice. So that when we talk as one voice, as East African voice, then these people can at least hear us. If you cannot talk one, at least talk two people. That's why we call it the principle of second best. And that's why we are working very hard to have East African community. We have now the customs union, we have the common market, and we are thinking that we can have a monetary union, which we used to have before, so that we can move as East Africans. I'm therefore very happy here as an East African and as a Ugandan to ensure that we can move together with this animal called insurance. Insurance trust, reimagining on the promise, and these words are not merely conference words, that's what I want to say. These are words which call for action, because we need to build trust. In business, when we do business, we are working on trust. For us in the central bank, our mandate is, let me explain our mandate properly, is very, very simple mandate. The mandate of the central bank in Uganda, Bank of Uganda, the Central Bank of Kenya, National Reserve Bank of Rwanda, and so on, is price stability. We ensure that the prices of goods and services are stable. 2 is to ensure, just listen to this one, mandate number 2 of the central bank is to ensure that there is soundness of the financial system, that the financial sector is sound. And 3, which we have added, the president appointed me I have not been there for long. For last year in Feb, I was appointed in February, Solomon, for your information. In February, that's when the President Museveni appointed me to serve in the central bank here, is that we have added that price stability, sound financial system should be in support of, that's what we have added, socio-economic transformation. They cannot be an end in themselves. Why? Because, let me tell you, Arihaj, when we talk about stable prices of goods and services, stable financial system, our currency, we are saying it is one of the stable currencies, and we have done that, especially the Ugandans. You can clap for us if you have been seeing our currency very stable. Our currencies have been very stable. We have ensured that we control inflation. Our core inflation is just 2.9. So our headline inflation is 2.9. Core is 3.0. Headline, as you all know, is the inflation that includes food and energy. When you include our matoke, beans, maize, and petrol, diesel, and we have a basket of goods, including those ones. And we normally calculate every 30 days how did their prices improve. That's what you call headline inflation. It has only improved, just increasing by 2.9. And we beat many countries in Europe as well. The only country which is beating us, I was there 14 days ago, is Mauritius. Otherwise, we would have beaten everyone. So we have been doing some good work. If you need to see, do just see our statistics. And of course, number two, we have been making sure that our currency remains stable and remains strong. The strength of a currency, where does it derive the strength? When does a currency derive strength? And when you are carrying it, those receipts you are carrying in your pockets, where we write a word, legal tender for these 50,000 shillings, legal tender for this 100 shillings in Kenya currency. That word we write there, legal tender for, means the value on which that receipt you are carrying, which of course belongs to government and is fiat, represented by Bank of Uganda or another central bank in the room here, means let us understand this. You are not carrying any money at all. What you are carrying is a receipt which carries the value of what, in your view, you think will purchase. And you are likely to agree with, you are going to agree with me. If inflation increases and you are going to get a wheelbarrow of money and you are going to purchase bread and you are going to tell me that you are carrying money, what kind of money are you carrying? Money becomes currency. Because not all money is currency. Money only becomes currency. The word currency means value attached to a commodity or an item. And then you see this has gained currency. And so this is important. And when do we have value of an economic product, of an economy? When do we have macroeconomic stability, which I've explained? Prices of goods and services stable. Economy is stable. Financial sector is stable. Let me ask you a simple question. Can you have an economy which is stable when business is at risk? Can you have an economy which is stable when people are carrying out economic activities and they are not sure? Nobody's sure when there is a problem in the business, whether you are going to be resuscitated, whether your business will be reinvigorated, when the business will come back. It is not possible. So it is important that insurance becomes at the core, at the center of business. And I want to congratulate you at this point to ensure that you are coming out from 0.85, my sister here, to 0.85 to 0.876. Just between there. When you add 0.876 to 0.85, divided by 2, that's where my sister is correct. That's where she got 0.86 percentage of Uganda's insurance total aggregate premium to our GDP of now 69 billion, which we want to increase to tenfold in the ATM's growth strategy of government. Ugandans, we need to put up our socks. We need to do something more on our insurance. We need to do something more on appreciating insurance. In Kenya, you shouldn't be proud you are not doing all that much as well. You are not doing all, although you are ahead of us. But also don't go among pygmies, and then when you are tall, you are going to say you are tall. Just when you are just among, or you are first from last in the class. So Kenya is about 2.4, and we need to congratulate Kenya. I think in the region they are doing a bit better. Tanzania is about 2.1, Rwanda 2.0. I'm talking about penetration, which mathematically means the total aggregate premium of insurance policies, all of them, divided by GDP. Of course, where GDP is consumption plus investment plus exports plus minus imports plus government expenditure. These days I've also added something on that GDP. Me, I subtract E, and I'm going to Davos. I'm proceeding to Davos to explain why I'm saying that also economics has been taught with that gap, especially in calculation of GDP. But when you divide by the current GDP, the way we do it, the numbers, as you can see, are very, very, very small. The only country in Africa doing well is Mauritius. Again, we need to applaud Mauritius. In somebody Mauritius here, stand up for recognition for Mauritius. Mauritius is 4. They are the ones who have 4 and above. Yeah, in Africa, of course, remove South Africa and the other. South Africa is 11, about 11.54. So we need to do something, Arihaji, to improve that. I think that therefore the state, I don't want to bore you with therefore the state of insurance and the state of trust. I don't know why this trust is not coming out, Arihaji, because for us in the central bank, what we have decided doing now, this year, I agreed with the governor and our management that we are not going to have a central bank which is doing things people don't understand. What is a bond? What is the treasury bill? What is savings? What is investment? What is the payment system? How do I get my money from my sister in London? So can you imagine, just listen to this. Bank of Uganda is having town hall meetings. Just 3 days ago, I was in Masindi explaining those things. If you are not going to explain those things, who is going to explain them to the people? We have even introduced a bond. You know I've been working on financial inclusion, as you have already been told. That's my main, really. I've seen many people, I've seen countries, I've done this and this, as you have been told. But to talk about growth of an economy, when the majority of the people are not identifying with that growth, is something which we shouldn't continue. That's my conviction. So I'm very passionate about financial inclusion, you people. If anybody here is going to talk about something that is interesting and we are going to embrace, is to ensure that when we talk about growth, we are identifying with that growth, all of us. Not to talk about growth when other people are living on the wrong side of the road. When you talk about growth and people are not identifying with that growth. So that's what we are talking about when we talk about insurance that can have products, which my brother has pointed out, like Kenyans are doing. Kenyans are doing that already. To have micro-insurance on your phone, and you can pay. Why do you want me to pay, for example, for a car? The car costs possibly 100 million, and insurance is possibly maybe 15 million a year. Can't you divide that 15 million in 12 months or so? 15 divided by 12, can't I pay 1.25 million per month? You are refusing. Why do you refuse that? And insurance, you are here, and you are refusing. Why do you want me to pay the whole 15 million Arihaji? I don't have it. Do you expect all of us to have 15 million at a go? We don't have it. But if you divided the 15 over 12, I can now get 1.25 million. And I pay with happiness. So you need to find out new products. That's what we are talking about. And see how to deal with that. So this is important. I don't want to bore you with the claim settlement and the lead times, which are there. I've done all the work with you. I've done a lot of work with the Uganda Insurance Association. And we have discovered that one of the problems is that this settlement of claims remains an axe to grind with you. Everybody has an axe to grind with you. Why should people have an axe to grind with you? The trust, as, and I'd have to put it the best way, is built when people believe that what you are going to have is going to come at the right time, and it is the one. But if you are going to have people believing that this one is not going to surely, it is not an industry which is going to build our macroeconomic stability. And for us, we have done our work at the monetary policy level. The government has also done very well on the fiscal metrics, managing government revenue and expenditure side. But now management of risk is what we need to work on. In the Bank of Uganda, we have introduced a full directorate. We have now 11. And one of them, the one which we put a lot of attention, is the one we call Directorate of Risk Management and Strategy, RMS. So our EDRMS, who is managing risk, how are people going to do business without managing risk? And for us, we are taking risk as very, very important for stabilizing businesses. So therefore, the brokers, the insurance brokers, I want to just bear with us. You are the ones who are bridging that gap. You are the ones bridging that gap between us who seek insurance policies and these insurers who are here who are providing those settlements. And then also with other sectors, you should be working with us in the Bank of Uganda, with other non-bank financial institutions. We have many, and so on. So at macroprudentially, we can manage the sector. Otherwise, if some of us are doing monetary policy, the Minister of Finance are doing fiscal metrics, then the risk management is not forthcoming. It becomes very difficult to have a sector that is sound, which we are claiming. So the integrity of claims remains at the center, therefore, of the financial sector. And the brokers, which want to salute you this morning, you remain at the center of this process. Anything which will work, it will be you whom we shall salute. Whom we shall salute. Because it generates rather than depriving the people the expectation that the people are supposed to derive from this. So professionally, you have to be ethical. This is a must. And doing good, you see, doing good is natural. It is a natural law. The Bible says, this is in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. I've told you I was already elected as I'm representing my constituency. I'm an MP of your parish. You must clap for me also. I'm a member of parliament of the parish of our church. And I told people, I even told the bishops yesterday, that doing good is a natural law. The Bible says, it is Paul's letter which was writing to Galatians, it is in chapter 6, verse 9. And it says that never, just listen to this, never ever get tired of doing good. Actually, we are just using simple English language. The real word, the usual English they use is weary. W-E-A-R-Y. Never get weary, never get tired of doing good. Why? Because the harvest is going to be massive. So the moment you continue doing good, you do your work good, people will recognize what you are doing. That's why people are able to recognize what we are, the small thing we are doing. As Mother Teresa says, you don't need to move that mountain to here. You just needed to make a settlement of my mother properly in what she's expecting. Do you know how many people my mother will tell you? Do you know the number of churches she attends? All those groups she is in, she's now your PR whom you are not paying. Then for you start wasting money paying PR and so on and so forth. Who told you that your PR will do work and reach where we are? It is that trust itself which is your PR, which creates that confidence, and then everybody is coming by you. You don't need to waste any money in PR. We are you now. Alhaji, how much money have you been paying me? But I've been your PR everywhere. Just marketing insurance, how it is important, how your business is going to crumble if you don't have insurance, and where will you get the other money? You had borrowed the money from a commercial bank, or many people, even Ugandans, don't know where to borrow, sometimes from high interest sources. And yet their investment is also long-term. They are getting money from short-term sources for long-term investments without insurance. How do you do that? Now, fourth is, of course, technology. We are saying you are going to use technology, use digital systems, and they are available. In the central bank, you can come and study us. What we are doing, we have introduced a bond, because we have been having treasury bills and bonds, as you know, for 1 year, treasury bill. Treasury bond is 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. We have introduced even a bond of 25. But we have also argued in financial inclusion. These bonds seem to be for rich people. That's what I saw immediately. How can also our grandmothers, these border, people who are selling, giving us food in the markets in Kampala and everywhere, also can they participate in a bond market in these government securities? And what have we done, Arihaji, which you needed to copy us, is that we have introduced a bond which is called Oksevinga bond. It is a 10,000 shilling bond. You only need 10,000 shillings on your mobile phone. You purchased on your mobile phone. You don't need this 80-page document. Sign here, sign here. They put a star, sign here. That one is not there. It's not there. You just get your 10,000 shillings in your mobile phone. You participate in government securities and government papers. You make work easy for people, especially about Mufuna Mpola, those who are earning little, need also to participate in government securities. Why do you need the money to be people who have 500 million, those bid, and their price is not even determined, it just determine it. Then others, you come through your PDs, as you know, other people determine it for you. Why don't you leave also my mother, my grandmother, our sisters, who do not have as much money as you have? You people here also participate. You think how many Ugandans, if it is, we are coming with 50 million, if you got 30 million, you just look at it. Each person purchasing that bond of 10,000 shillings. You think we cannot finance the SGR, these Ugandans who are here? Or you also need to go to borrow? So you look at how the, financial inclusion usually works. So specifically, I want to call you for the following actions. Number one, consumer education. I'm finishing. Consumer education is mandatory. Get out of your air-conditioned office, Solomon. Me and Solomon, I don't think we have any office which is air-conditioned. We are just in Rotary. We are doing, you need to find us in Karamoja. We are in Karamoja. Those who are Ugandans. We are in Kisoro. We are in Bulisa. We are in Mbale. We are everywhere. We are in Zimbabwe. We are everywhere. We even could go to Kenya. We have done a lot of Rotary work in Tanzania, in Kenya. And we are looking for the vulnerable people who cannot be able to have products which can go everywhere. On consumer education, teaching people what is insurance. Because you see, insurance, when I was doing a lot of research with Uganda Insurance Association here in Kororo, just read our report, the report which I just wrote for them just a few months ago, about 7 months ago, is that number one, the challenge you have as insurers and insurance brokers is that traditionally, first of all, we also have very strong systems traditionally. So my brother or your brother thinks you are going to pay fees of his children. Even when you die here in Kampala, my brother will take care of the other children and so on. So you have a lot of also work to do in our family structures. Because many people think in Africa, especially in Ugandan society, traditional society, if you have a brother that has some kind of money, this money is ours. All of us is ours. My mother used to tell me, Those who are Ugandans, my mother, by the way, comes from Rukunjiri, to be specific, in Rubabo sub-county, Rubabo constituency. Uwaba Professor Kagonyera. My mother used to tell me, you listen to what she used to tell me, that rwa mukuru wawe tekutaha mugongo tisi rukiga runyankore. In English language, it literally means when your brother has money, that money is not yours. Can you give a big round of applause to my mother, really? She also told me, these hands, just look at my hands. These hands you see here. These hands, the way you see them, and I look after my hands so well. You look at the way you look after them so well. When you wash them clean, you'll eat with the kings. That's what she told me. That the water you have borrowed, that's my mother, she has never gone to any class, that the water you have borrowed cannot wash your hands clean. The water which you wash your hands clean is the water which is yours. You got it from your own well. You know the springs in our villages. This is the water which you... And if you look at those who are now in balance of payments, when I reached at the London School of Economics, what are they talking about here? Balance of payments? Current account, capital account, financial account. My mother told me this a long time ago, except for you are just using different words and complicating my life. You're just complicating my life. You ensure that people stop at Hajj thinking that their brothers are going to solve their problems. Good. Otherwise, if they continue to think that their brothers are solving their problems, you are not going to have any insurance. Because we are the ones now who are black tax. Haven't you heard about black tax? Who are black, when you have a lot of black tax, which is now people living in Kampala, and now we are meeting all the needs of the people. And these people, did you make appointment with them to produce 12 children? Wisdom. Put up your hand, those who put appointment with your brothers and sisters to produce 12 children because you are going to pay their fees. You are not going to do well, my brother. This, you need to do that intentionally. You are going to do that intentionally. Have products which can break those barriers, break those principalities, break those very bad attitudes and culture. And once you do that, then you liberate people. Everybody knows that the decision you will take responsibility of that decision. Then insurance becomes very easy. The reason why there is very high insurance in the UK, very high insurance in Denmark, Netherlands, and so on, is because people are on their what? Take decisions on their own. There is a time I was going with a friend of mine who were doing here, David. He's called David from Birmingham. So we left London. Those who understand London very well, London, Warwick, Coventry, Birmingham. So we reached Birmingham. Then he told me, as we were discussing, he said his father is in one of the homes in Birmingham. He didn't, of course, being a Muchiga from Kabari, Ugandan. David, what are you talking about? Me, I'm not, we are not passing here. We have to go and see your what? Your father. He said, my friend, I didn't make appointment with him. But if it was a Ugandan, he would say, let me go with my sister. Oh, there's also the children, let us go. You never made the appointment. That is how serious they are. She's in the home of the elderly. She has her insurance. She paid. There's another one even I met in I think, Netherlands, who was even more funny. It's a lady. She was the secretary of somebody in Mitsubishi Corporation in Japan. So we were in Netherlands, and the lady told me for her, she has even bought, I think it was 30,000. Can you imagine? 30,000 euros for where she's going to be buried, in the cemetery. Then I said, are you serious? No, they told me her mother paid her money herself, that she was working. It is not the responsibility of her son even. Can you imagine? To pay for her mother. That's how serious these communities are with taking responsibility of their own actions. So we must advocate, therefore, for people to take responsibility of their actions, of their businesses, not think that somebody else is going to take care of those problems. The moment we continue thinking, what has Professor said in this meeting? What have I said in this meeting? East Africans, the Ugandans who are here, the people from Mauritius and Africans, let me address you now as a Pan-Africanist. Let's take responsibility of our own what? actions. Don't think that anybody else is going to take responsibility for your actions. If you do that, then you are doing in economics what you call displacement. And displacement is not good. Failure to do and solve your problems and then think that it's another person you are transferring the responsibility to. This is the thing which stifles development. That's why we don't have development. The development is simple. Development made simple is taking responsibility for your action, whether it is a mistake or not, and own it. That's why we are different from these people who are really developing every day. So take responsibility of your own action and then invest, of course, in professional development. And let me now go to opportunities which are before us. It's not only bad news. It's that the East African region is presenting cross-border opportunities. We now have a common market from East African community. You can sell goods and services, transfer goods and services, including human capital. This is a very good, big opportunity for us. And we also think of a monetary union, very big opportunity for us, cross-border Hajj. Don't think only about the Ugandan market. We now have East African market. We now have a COFTA market, African Continental Free Trade Area, signed in Rwanda. Again, I think this is the 11th time now. So the Rwandans must take lead of this process as you can see. And then we can also develop other products, like I haven't been seeing you in agriculture. Yet, on ATMs, that is agro-industrialization, then we have tourism, we have mineral development, then science, technology, and innovation. ATMs to drive the 10-fold growth strategy of government. How are you going to do this when we don't have products and you are not protecting us in agriculture? In agriculture, we are having problems. I'm a farmer myself, I have a coffee, I've even planted more. We have matoke, we have cows, but we are suffering at Hajj because when we get problems, we are on our own. We don't see financial products coming to us, the brokers who are here. Can't you also help us as brokers to link us in agriculture to these insurers so that at least we have some good products for insurance? I want to bring you good news from coffee. Coffee this year, we got $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion. And this is the first time Uganda has earned, I think, across $1 billion the last financial year. Remittances, also $2.5 billion. Our Ugandans who are working in Qatar and so on. But also the problems they have is insurance. Most of these people are not insured. Most of these businesses are not insured. And these are great opportunities that we are having. The other opportunity, of course, is the growth of the sector itself. The financial sector here is growing. Why? Because of the stability of the sector. And once the sector grows, how is it growing? Because people have realized it is stable. So we have got a lot of foreign direct investment to now 4.5 billion foreign direct investment. People who have money and want to bring here business. So once you have those opportunities, and they find that insurance is still 0.86, really, percent to GDP penetration. It is not something that you can take to IMF and World Bank, and when we are also Ugandans, we can say we are also discussing, really. Let's work together, Arihaji, improve this 0.86. And let's take, these things, Uganda, when we were with the president here likes numbers. You are not going to tell me that we are going to improve. Can we, from this room, agree that when we come 2 years from now, at least this 0.86 has been improved to about 1.2? That would be a very good target. And then we work on it. What do we need to do to achieve 1.2% contribution of total insurance premium to GDP? And remember the work you have is that for us in ensuring macroeconomic stability, ensuring financial sector stability, ensuring payments are done well, for us we are moving at a very high speed. By the time you come in 2 years, our GDP is $80 billion. For you have improved now from 0.8, this may be to 1. It has reduced now. It is now 0.6. Why? Because the denominator has now increased tremendously. That's how it works. So as we move and expand this economy, which we're expanding at a very high rate, next year, just next year, by end of this year, and in the middle of next year, we are going to be an oil and gas economy. You need to go to Hoima, the Arihaj, and see what are the opportunities there. In oil and gas, we have petrochemical, we have ECOP, East African pipeline. Can we applaud our brothers from Tanzania? Tanzania, at the port of Tanga, from Wakabali to Tanga, it's a distance of about 1,434 kilometers pipeline. All of these are opportunities. Who do you think is going to gain from all of these? Those petrochemical industries, oil and gas, and maintaining those rigs, and so on. These are tremendous opportunities which are going to come up. And I want to urge you that you are the ones. Don't again tell me that you are waiting for someone to be the one to do this. What we need to do in oil and gas, as you all know, is to manage to do two things. One, you manage expectations of the people so that they don't think that it's oil and gas which is going to solve their problems. Two, you ensure we don't have resource movement effect. All other sectors must remain constant as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I want to give you a word of optimism that insurance remains at the core of our economic growth and performance. That is for sure. We have a rapid expanding middle class, also for sure. That one, you know it. There are so many people in East Africa now who are buying cars, going for all these things. Most of them are also eating a lot of food and getting accidents in the gyms. Those are opportunities. Be there to ensure that all these gyms are around, are insured. And these people who are going there, do you think they don't have money to do that? So the economy is changing, it's transforming. It is no longer agriculture-based. Uganda's GDP, the other 69 billion I told you, is driven by, can you imagine, this is very, very good news, ladies and gentlemen. It is driven by services sector, 43.1% of our GDP in East Africa. All East African countries, it is between 40 to about 44. In Uganda, it is 43.1% of the entire GDP, which is consumption plus investment plus total exports. If you remove total imports plus government expenditure. And now Professor Nwagaba is removing, of course, E. I'm calibrating it, discounting for environment, ESG. Is that all of them, all of those people are increasingly getting to what we call that middle income status. And these are people who are joining the rest of the world in ensuring that they improve their homes, improve their businesses, and so on. So as the middle income increases, you are the ones to gain from that. Then two is the agricultural sector. Let me again repeat it. Government does not want to hear, let me speak on behalf of government now. Government does not want to hear that the agricultural sector is not insured. Let us have products that can insure agricultural sector. Because why? I've already told you that it still commands foreign exchange earning. Apart from gold, 6.4, but also import 6.2, difference $200 million. 2.5 billion is from agriculture. So it still commands a very big proportion of foreign exchange earnings, which is a very big opportunity for us. Small scale and medium enterprises. For us in the central bank, we have already catered for them. For you, what are you doing? For us, we have saving that they can participate in now bond market, in your government securities. Let us hear, I heard also from these insurers, these insurance brokers, Solomon, that in 2 years, how are you going to get the other the other 0.4 to add on 0.85, 0.876 divided by 2, 0.86 to form 1.2. Where are you going to get it from? It is a very big figure when you divide it by $69 billion. It's a very, very, very big figure. Where are you going to get it from? Rather than making sure that you have products. And the majority of us who are in agriculture, because people who are in these other sectors are few. Then the very, very last one is, of course, that East Africa is increasingly, I've also articulated this very well, is increasingly converging to be one economy. It's a great opportunity. What else do you want? It's a great opportunity. If you go to Kenya, you go to Nairobi, come to Kigali, go to Tanzania, to Dar es Salaam, and so on. Then come to Uganda, and now we are improving infrastructure. Then you have a lot of opportunity. We have got so many airlines, Uganda Airlines, KQ, Tanzania Airlines. You can even go there in the evening, you have come. There is a lot of opportunities now. And all of these want you to participate in it. So I would like to thank you so much. And in one powerful sentence in English, let me read this. The word I promise. The word I promise in English. I don't know whether you know what it means. It creates an obligation. Because you are the ones who used the word promise, I'm not the one who used it. You are the one who used it. It has an obligation. It has a connotation of obligation. It also builds a relationship. If you promise somebody on a wedding that you're going to give the money and you don't come, you don't bring the money. I've been seeing you, the Ugandans. These Ugandans are people from Rwanda and Tanzania have been making our weddings very hard to eventually implement. They promise money, they don't bring it. They say, I'm going to give you 2 million. I don't know whom you are posing on. Do you still have girlfriends whom you are posing on? Why do you say you are going to bring 2 million when you are sure you are not going to have it? Because the promise is an obligation. You create a relationship now with me. And it can create a lot of bad blood. Because I would think that now you wanted my wedding to go wrong. When in fact, for you simply didn't have money. So be careful with that word you have used. It builds a relationship. It transfers confidence also. From now one party to another. We call it displacement, I've already told you. So insurance is therefore institutionalization of that promise. We're just institutionalizing it. And brokers are the ones who put a human face now on that institutionalization. They are the ones who are putting that human face. Because most of us don't know these insurers. And like me now, I don't want to mention my insurance company, but I'm like in 5. I've been with you people, and I want to congratulate, I don't have any problem with any insurance company here. Because at one time we have a building here in Kampala. I think a car was coming and it hit the main entrance door. Our insurance broker worked on it very, very quickly. The insurance company paid us. I think a very big round of applause, some of them. Our vehicles are also insured. The problem is that you need to be fast so that, again, you don't take a lot of time. Also because us also have problems with insurers. Don't think that it's insurers who have problems, because they also need evidence. If you have had an accident, provide evidence. Don't tamper now with the scene, as people in the police say. Take a picture of what happened and then you'll be. For me, I don't have any problem with insurance. And so I can therefore really take the message that insurance companies work because they have worked for me. I don't know why they shouldn't work for you. Did they like my face? I don't think so. I'm not so beautiful that they should like my face at all. So then reimagining trust, therefore, also begins with reimagining yourselves as professionals, advocates, custodians, to change lives. And in insurance companies, the money we give you, the Bible says, you are stewards. No, a steward, according to what the Bible explains it, is somebody who is taking charge of another person's trust. The money we give you insurance companies, this money you are holding in trust in case an indemnity is required. Somebody suffers that insurable risk, and now you need claim. So that never build in your mind that money, please, what has the professor said here? First of all, I've said, take responsibility of your actions as people, as individuals. Then two, now I'm saying, the money which insurance companies, this premium we give you, never build in your mind, and this is what kills business. This is what kills your business. Never build in your mind that this money is yours. It becomes yours on the midnight of one. That's when every insurance company is happy. Depending on when your financial year is ending, on the midnight of when that insurance policy ended. And by the way, if you are still a very good insurance company, it doesn't matter, you can give us another month, why not? Before we prepare our payment. If I know that insurance company which does that, I can mobilize just in my district, I can mobilize about 100 people and I bring them for you. If you are willing to give us a grace period, because my salary has not come, are we together? And my insurance ended, you look at this one, but let's be practical. It ended on the 4th of May 2026. Now, from now, 5th of May until 31st, where would I get? Remember, your premiums are very high. You never broke them into smaller units. Where would I get money? So also let's think, you be empathetic. We are not saying that you become sympathetic. We don't want any sympathy. But we want empathy. Those who have been studying in schools. And you have been having teachers, not fake ones. Those who are studying in schools which are under the tree, you blame yourself, don't blame anybody. Don't blame anyone. But all of us have studied in different schools. For me, 417 kilometers from here. What matters is to ensure that you build confidence. Are we together? And compete with everybody. Because God cannot give us equal opportunity. Otherwise, how would you get this beauty in this house? God put us in very many areas, and we have so many talents. These are Romans 12. We have so many talents, and that's the beauty which God created within us. I have a beauty for teaching. You have a beauty for making money. You have a beauty for going to see people who are sick. Another one is very sympathetic. Another one is empathetic. The world is a very, very beautiful place to live in. But you have made it very difficult. Especially those who are not empathetic. Empathy means, in simple English language, putting yourself in the shoes of another person. And if everybody was sympathetic, if all companies were empathetic, you would now know what I'm feeling when I'm putting in a claim. Assume that empathy requires, you assume that you are the one also putting in a claim. You are not on the other side. And then if you are the one now claiming, and I'm the one now creating the good settlement, the world would have moved very, very fast. But now, it becomes very difficult. Be empathetic, and the insurance industry will move. I would like to give you another proverb, and then sit down, and this is also in Ruchigari Nyankore. It is important the Ugandans who are here and East Africans, you are the ones who called me. I didn't call myself here. But since I've been a global ambassador for financial inclusion, let me not finish without really telling you what is on my heart. When you are going on a journey, like for example from here to Kampala, it is about 320 kilometers from here to Kampala. My mother told me the food which is going to sustain you on that way is the food which you prepared yourself. Even if Solomon Robondo's house or Al-Hajj's house is along the way, the next town from here is Masaka. You are going to meet another town, a big one, which is Masaka. And I'm going to pass at Hajj's place. Is it going to be food? And that one will now sustain me up to Kampala. What kind of stupidity is this? What kind of stupidity as Africans? Let's look at that. And this is one which has been killing Africa. Thinking that you are going to continue, let us be very serious here as I sit down, surviving on the savings of others. Let me address myself to ladies here who are in this room. I think the men should look the other way. Let the men look the other way. I'm going to address ladies only. Just ladies, listen to me. Be careful on lifts, being given lifts. Don't allow, what has Professor said, point number 3 here, don't allow lifts. Get your man on the board, public transport. You reach where you are going. You take a lift, you will tell me what is going to happen. That's what is going to happen. In other words, my mother is just telling you, she's telling what we call positive economics. We have normative economics, Keynesian economics, liberal economics. For us in the London School of Economics, we have what we call the political economy, economics, and so on. But my mother is telling you, please take again charge of yourself and your destiny. And I want to charge by saying, the reason why we are not transforming, the reason why we are not developing, the reason why we still remain thinking you should take your child in Malaysia, you should take your child to UK. Why are you thinking like that? Just listen, is because you have totally failed first of all, you have failed to love yourself. Secondly, you have failed to love your community. Thirdly, you have failed to love your country. If you have been traveling globally, tell me any country which is better than Uganda, which is better than beautiful than Uganda. I was in Texas the other day in St. Antonio. We just landed at the George Bush International Airport. We went to do cut meals and so on. I paid $500 at Hajj from just Houston to get meals. They said, what is this? This is in Kampala. This would have been a border. I don't pay more than 10,000. In Uganda shillings, I paid like 2 million. Those who understand Kampala to move from Wandege, I think, to Jinja Road. What a beautiful countries we have. Look at Kenya. Look at Rwanda or look at Tanzania with all those beautiful things we have. But you continue thinking, I don't know where you get those attitudes, that other countries are better. Who tells you that other countries are better than ours? Who is telling that other country? Because you have failed to appreciate what you have, you have failed to appreciate what God gave you, you have failed to appreciate your community, you have failed to love your country. If you don't want to love Uganda, the Ugandans who are here, you don't want to love Kenya, you don't want to love Rwanda and the Rwandese, who is going to do that on your behalf? Can you transfer that responsibility to another person? It cannot. So people who have done well, countries which have done well, economies which have done well, businesses which have done well, people love what they are doing. I love what I'm doing. Don't you say I love what I'm doing? I really love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I really love to explain to people where development is, what is transformation, what do you need to make money in yourself. I've even developed what you call in Wagaba model. Those who want to know how to make money and in your home and work with your wife, with your children, people who have money that have been sustained and it remains there. You know very well that people who have a man and working with his wife and their enterprise, family enterprises. Don't you know that? In Africa, don't you know that? Have you done it? No. There's something wrong with us, which we need to solve, and these are basic principles of transformation. Let's begin by loving ourselves. If you don't love your mother or you don't love your wife, who is going to do that on your behalf? So let's love our countries. No one is going to love them on your behalf. That's again the fourth message which I have for you. But I want to thank you so much for inviting me, and did you open the conference? The conference was opened yesterday. There is no need for opening is there a need for opening the conference? Or you opened it? You opened it. So there is very good conference which we have here, and we want to thank our chief guest and to welcome all the delegates that enjoy your life here. Here we have what we call Musevenomics. Also, it's another type of economics. And that one, I'm the one who is working on it with the president, and what we are saying is we have state intervention and also market forces. Simple. That's what Musevenomics is about. So you have market, which is playing its work, forces of demand and supply. But also realize, you people, what have I said, point number 5, realize that there are people who will not really be affording or operate within the market. So you will need somehow state what? Intervention. Now you will need now Keynesianism. You will need Keynesian economics. So Musevenomics is about bridging the, you just mingle state intervention with market forces to derive what you call sustained growth and transformation. This is what you want for East Africa and also for Africa to grow. Because we are still very poor. You cannot leave market forces to determine schools, to determine the hospitals, people to go to medicine. Who is going to get the money to buy that? You have to have also government intervention to do that. In business, therefore, you cannot allow people that you do business, this one will work by himself. You need some kind of intervention. This way insurance comes in. And so we are saying, please, help us to reach out to as many people as possible to come into the economy so that we have inclusive growth. That's number 6, which I have said. And at this juncture, I thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. Enjoy Uganda. Enjoy our night economy. We have our night economy as well, which is very strong. We have both a day economy, also enjoy the night economy, and also other economies which are in other places. Thank you very much for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise and give our keynote speaker a standing ovation. Thank you so very much, our keynote speaker. May we please clap for him until he takes his seat. Keep the applause for the wonderful keynote address from the governor, deputy governor of the Bank of Uganda.
Yeah. The keynote said that you are the one that did what? Called me. So I think the message has sunk in properly, isn't it? Yeah, and for me, who has really been in a number of engagements, and I'm sure that many of you have been in the number of engagements where he is, he's one who tells you a story, but because the teacher in him doesn't allow him to leave it as a story, he also interprets the story. After interpreting the story, he will give you the theory that supports it in economics. And then, because he knows that many of you are not economists, he will explain the Keynesian theory so you can get it. Deputy Governor, I was moving with you very well until you went to London, Warwick, and Birmingham. Then I stayed here. Martin Mutiaba of Sanlam, are you here? Okay. Martin, please stand up. Governor, I want to show you another man called Martin Mutiaba from Sanlam, Al-Haji. That is another gentleman of whom I'm very sure that when he went to London, me and him stayed here in Kampala. Yeah. Martin, take your seat. The only person that moved with you is his CEO, Mr. Alex Mukasa. Please stand up for recognition. That one, yes, moved with you. Alhaji, you talked about innovation. I want to tell you that there is a company that has dog insurance, Swiko. I want to tell the CEO, Hamza, to stand up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that they overdid it, but they have dog insurance. Alhaji, I think that's pure innovation, dog insurance. I think soon they are going to bundle it with cats, so it's dog and cat. If you love your cats. But also very important for me to make mention that one of the recent products that I've enjoyed pretty much is the Old Mutual. They bundled their unit trust with the insurance. I think let's appreciate Old Mutual. They've also equally done well in that space. So before we move to our next part of the program, it's important that I recognize the chairperson board of the Uganda Insurers Association, Ms. Ruth Namoli. Please stand up for recognition so that people give you your flowers. So Ruth, please stay up. Please stay up. Please stay up. When Ruth is not at the UIA, she serves Sanlam Allianz General, and they serve together with Alex at Sanlam. Alex, please stand up. Those ones, when they didn't take the other position, which you all know, which they've taken for the last 3-4 years, they said that they need to find a way with which they make sure you talk about them. Please clap for them, because the bag that you have is courtesy of Sanlam Allianz. Yeah. I noticed that Alex has the bag close with him. Yeah. So thank you very much. And of course, it leads me to that moment where our keynote talked about trust. Now, insurers, it's important that we know that we are busy for other things. Now, Alhaji said that trust is built over time. But for me, I understand that trust is a contact game. You have to keep in contact with your customers. I am sure that many of us here have been to CJ's and have been at City Oil. You do only one service. One time I did service at City Oil by mistake. By mistake. They continuously send me messages that tell me, your service is now discounted. Please come again. I almost want to respond that I came by mistake. But what am I trying to communicate? Insurers, I think when it gets to the game of contact, you are really very busy. Please leave this to the brokers to contact your customers. Because to where I come from, you need to understand what I am doing. To my son's school, they got to know that now I have a baby for 6 months. When I got there, they congratulated me. Congratulations about the baby. Because they knew that they have a future customer coming. So insurers, this business of contacting your customers, leave it to the brokers, because they are best suited to know how to speak the language that customers do what? Understand. So let's quickly harmonize for all the products, because the building of trust, for me, is a contact game. But quickly, when I was seated there, because I've been with the sector, I know that insurance is indemnity. And to indemnify, how do we quickly get words that speak quickly to indemnify? There where I was seated, I kept thinking to myself, that where do we start to pick logos that say, Bwogwa nga tukuyimiriza? Because people don't understand the word what? Insurance. Bwona agwa ekigwo nga tukola ki? Nga tukusitula. Tukuzayo wobadde. Because we quickly need to make sure that the insurers the clients can understand this message. So quickly, let's stand up. Let's stand up. Alhaji, we have a plaque for you, and our keynote, we have a plaque for you. Please stand up. Yeah. Stretch in a manner that does not affect your neighbor. Stretch in a manner. So for now, you can't go like this. You can only go up, you know. Be as if you're squatting. Don't over squat, especially if you know you can't come back with ease. Squat a bit. Then stretch on the right with your body, not your hands. Stretch on the left. Give your neighbor a high five. Give your another neighbor a high five. Stretch your back. Stretch your back. Go to the front. Sit down. Now, on the program where you see coffee break, this is what we have just done. Yeah. For one reason or the other, you know why we are here. Or you know how we got here. You know, some of you didn't show up on time, so we started. So anyone who is interested in coffee, because I decided to give you a healthy break of stretching. Anyone who is interested in coffee, down here. The coffee is available. Just go and pick your cup, and then we should be able to proceed because we don't have time to go for that coffee break. It's important that we recognize our sponsors because of the value and investment that they put in this conference. And allow me to start with our brass sponsors. In brass, we have Mayfair, we have Kenyari, we have Case Medical, we have Alliance, we have AfriSafe, we have Willis Tower, Clarkson, Win, EOM, Padre Pio, Cambridge, Swico, CIC, Uganda Reinsurance Solutions, Cornerstone, and Pentad. Can we give them a big, big clap? In Copper, we have Skyry Insurance Brokers, we have Jubilee, we have Liberty, AAR, Minerva, Grandry, we have Service Corps, GA, Continental Reinsurance, Waikari, the college, that is the Insurance Training College, and Minet. Can we clap for our Copper sponsors? Then, under the category of bronze light sponsors, we have Africa, Old Mutual, and Gold Star. Can we give them a big round of applause? The bronze sponsors, we have MUA. Can we clap for MUA? Where I have reached, I can allow people to stand up. MUA, please stand up for recognition. Can we clap for them? Yeah, you can sit down. Your airtime is done. Thank you very much. We have our Sapphire sponsors. They sponsored our welcome cocktail. Prudential, Team Prudential, please rise up for recognition. Under the silver sponsors, we have Britam. These ones have been very consistent with being there. Britam, please stand up for recognition. Britam Life, Britam General. Excuse me. You are not happy. You are full-time staff or you? Okay, clap for Britam, clap for Britam. Under the gold sponsors, we have ICA Lion. The staff of ICA, please stand up for recognition. Can we give them a big, big round of applause? Thank you very much. For our platinum sponsor, please allow me to invite their CEO, Joseph, to come and share a word or two. Joseph, you're welcome.
Thank you, Gava. Good morning, everyone. Oh, so we've kept it this long. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, it's very hard to speak after the keynote speaker and the chief guest, but I think since we have the same history with CEO IRA, I think he will not feel offended. As you heard from him, he said in 1995, he was working with FICO. So he was working with Mirai. And since it has been a practice of associating ourselves with people, I'm also proud to say that I associate with CEO IRA. It's a profound honor of Mirai General Insurance to stand before you today in this beautiful city of Mbarara. As the premium sponsor of the 8th Annual IBAU Conference, we are not just here to show our brand. There is much more than that. I know ever since we are declared as the platinum sponsors, I've been receiving a number of concerns and questions. People asking, why Mirai? Why are you investing in this event? And some have already put their answers to that. They've been saying it's because you have a lot of money. Yes, it is a fact, we have the money. But it's not the reason as to why we chose to be part of this. We are here because we believe in the heartbeat of the theme, which is reimagining the promise, reimagining trust, delivering on the promise. We are here because we feel the heartbeat of that theme. The reality is we have a trust deficit in the industry, and we need to work as a group to make sure we bridge that gap. And how are we reimagining this promise? I'll just tell you about the Mirai way. How do we do it? I'm just looking at two things. One is the 24-hour benchmark. And what I mean by this is that at Mirai, you make sure you receive your payment when you get a claim in 24 hours. And why are we doing this? It's because trust is built at the moment of need, not months later. And we say a promise delayed is a promise denied. The other aspect we are looking at is we are considering you, the brokers, as the anchor of whatever we do in this industry. Because you're the people who bridge the gap between us and the people who need our services. So we need to associate with you very closely to make sure we reach where we want to go. So that's why we are here with you. As I conclude, I just want to challenge everyone to join us as we deliver on the promises that we give our people. And I think it was the conference convener who talked about Mirai. Mirai is a Japanese word that means future. Where I see it, I always tell people that Mirai means future, and that future is now. I thank you.
Can we clap once again for our premium sponsor? I want to once again remind you that our conveniences are here on your left and others are within the hotel facility. Just follow the footprints that has Mirai. You should be able to get to the conveniences. So quickly, we have, when you look at our program, we have 2 fireside chats that we should have. And so we want to probably work within the next 45 minutes, and 1:30 we should be moving out for our lunch. So I request the next moderators and speakers to keep it at that so that we are able to keep within time. So at this point in time, allow me, before we do the first fireside chat that is going to be moderated by Rita, allow me request the conference convener, or together with the leadership of IBAU in Uganda to bring the plaque that appreciates the regulator for their partnership over the years, but specifically for the 8th conference. So Alhaji, allow me to invite you so that we can appreciate IRA over the years for the support. Please appreciate the regulator one more time. So for one reason or the other, Old Mutual will be awarding our keynote, and I want to invite the acting MD to come so that they can appreciate our keynote. Please join me in welcoming Old Mutual. Professor, please come so that we can appreciate your time. Please, one more time, please appreciate Professor, the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, for his time. Andrew, do we open or it stays? It stays. It's okay. Andrew, we hope you didn't put a pen. But okay, one more time, please appreciate Old Mutual for that gesture. Okay, so our next part of the program, quickly. I want to invite the CEO, MUA Rwanda, Mr. Bujingo Konde, to come and take us through a discussion around humanizing the promise, which I request that this works within the next 20 minutes. So that we can be able to move to the fireside chat. Please join me in welcoming Konde here. Konde, it's my humble request to make sure that you use at least max 20 minutes so that we can save some time.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the regulator, Assalamu alaikum. Deputy Governor, the Chair of the Association, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege for me to stand here and speak about a topic like this because I'm quite passionate about, would I say humanizing the promise, more about inclusion, as many of our authorities have already mentioned. And I think I would like to give a bit of a context. I am a banker by profession. So there is a bit of madness to the method that we needed in insurance. And the reason why I say that, I joined MUA 4 years ago, and MUA was the 7th largest, if I may say, or the lagging 7th. And today, MUA is the leading insurer in Rwanda. I'm not trying to hype up myself, but the team that I have, it's the maddest I would like to talk about. We reimagined how we do insurance. So being a banker by profession, it meant I did things different from how insurers go about business. Now, there is a slide that I'll share with you, but before I show you the slide, there are many topics that our regulator, the Deputy Governor have all mentioned. Inclusion, affordability, access, distribution, partnership. And I want to put all that into one ecosystem. But let's first take a step back. As insurers, within the first 6 months, the first thing that I thought was so important, which was made very prevalent to me, is to manage ratios. You look at our income statement, you look at the balance sheet, and you know where you stand. I don't think a partnership with brokers really is highlighted on the financial statement, which is where we spend most of our time. A partnership with other intermediaries is really highlighted. No, we absolutely go all over the place. When it comes to underwriting profit, where our partners are, in MOA, we had about 30% of our business with brokers, 50% direct, and 20% agencies. Today, it's actually it's about 50% for the brokers, 35% for the agencies and our partners, and only 15% is direct business. So, clearly, being privileged to stand here, but I have a context to the reason why IBAU would think we need to work together, and I need to talk about this promise. Humanizing the promise needs to reimagine how we do business. And what I mean by that, let me ask the tech to highlight the slide. Then I could be a bit more elaborate on what we're saying here. And I'm not going to mention all the assumptions. The regulators have mentioned all the assumptions. Penetration is, we shouldn't even speak about it. It's quite dismal. But I think also the penetration, to highlight the importance of insurance, can be rethought. My colleague Nicholas, the CEO of Uganda, had actually mentioned, I think we need to talk about how much we insure, not the premium. When you speak about the premium relative to the GDP, it's minuscule. But when you think about the risk and the assets that we cover, it's monumental. And I think we need to highlight that. So when it comes to penetration, it's quite a challenge. 80% is informal economy. Low trust and awareness, as the regulators said, is rather a challenge we face every day. And our traditional models have failed. I'm being honest here as a banker. If we want to drive retail insurance, our traditional models do not serve the purpose. Strategy-wise, I would like to propose an ecosystem. And I've highlighted the key areas that relatively within the African context, but also in our East African market, are applicable. As MOA, we've been taking on board, we have a 3-pillar strategy. That is, we aim to be the first in mind, or first to mind. We aim to be the first to find, and we aim to be the first to serve. All those 3 pillars is what I ask my team to focus on. The rest of it, we need to lead to our partners to drive. Hence the reason why we've grown our brokerage partnership and other partners as banks and agencies. So let me focus on these 4 pillars. The 4 pillars here, majority of us have seen this before. Our associations do lobby and so on, but we're still challenged. If we really want to push retail insurance, it's important for us to see it as the way the bankers we see it. Bankers, we do not sit down and start managing ratios on a daily basis before we serve a client. We first look at what is the potential of a loss to this client that we might have to spend more money to acquire again. The cost of acquisition in insurance is so high. It's even much more less of a problem now in banking because we've made access really, really available to all. But in insurance, acquisition of a client is very difficult. So if we are not able to work with others to stop managing ratios but actually think about our clients through our partners, then it will always be that we cannot humanize our promise. Now, on the regulator side, they are here. Let me not be a step over the border, but if we are going to think about transforming retail business in insurance, there has to be a regulatory-enabled environment for that purpose, not for the general business. Managing corporate insurance and retail insurance is 2 different models. And I think the retail model needs to be reimagined starting from the regulator level. Providing microinsurance, as the Deputy Governor had mentioned, why don't we offer installments annually? So that it's much easier for our clients. Also, correct, monthly. So it becomes an annual fee, but then it's done monthly. And if you combine it with insurance premium financing together with our partner banks, it even becomes much more less of a burden to our clients. So from a regulator perspective, I'm not going to go through the list, but I think you get my point. We need to change how we manage retail insurance compared to how we manage corporate insurance. The second one, microinsurance has still not been understood by us who work in insurance. Let's be honest, right? We need to build skills. We need to build skills that know how to manage microinsurance. And here I don't mean, I mean, if I asked my colleague who are here, in charge of underwriting and reinsurance, two of them, and actually so many of others have come from Tanzania, the first thing they'll think about is technical. They will not sit down and design a product that really reimagines how our clients feel or how they ought to be served. No, they will design it to try and protect the business, the shareholders. And that part is where we need our partnership with brokers. You speak with the clients. You understand the problems from the clients. We need to design products with you. We need to manage these products with you. And we as insurers, we need to do what we do best. Comparative advantage. We are underwriters. We manage the ratios. We invest. We grow the capital. Our partners should drive the product. And they should drive the product through a technology approach. So, coming to technology, having let that part, on the technology side, we can partner on technology. We are already doing it in Rwanda and in many other parts of East Africa. And it doesn't mean that we drive the technology. We actually find a partner who becomes part of the partnership. So it becomes an ecosystem. Because the technology partner knows better about technology than we do. But what do? We have to go to the board. We get a budget for the technology. We have to hire a consultant, and then we work with the consultant. Before you know it, it's 2 years down the line, 3 years. Technology has not been deployed yet. But if we work with the partner on the technology side, together with the association, we can drive with everybody skin in the game. That means that we will leverage on everybody's piece within this ecosystem to drive retail insurance to our clients and our countries. Okay. Strengthening partnerships, and I think this is, coming into the last part of the pillars. This is relatable to where we are today. Let me try and hype up the brokers. I think that's why we're here. And I think on our side, we're not the leading insurer in Rwanda because we brought something unique to the market. No, we just changed the game. We came, met with my partner brokers. I meet them on a regular basis. They have an issue. We sit and discuss it. We know how to propose it to our clients. A simple example that gets us off, that basically puts us in the wrong place. You have a client who pays $5,000 in premium. They get a claim after 3-4 years. 4 years, probably with 10% loss ratio. But after 4 years, they get a claim of $20,000. The first thing as insurers we think about is the P&L. Oh, underwriting profit is going to go down. But we forgot about the 4 years that they only cost us 10%. And this 20,000, as my colleague Nicholas was discussing with me earlier, is borderline rejection or repudiation. But what we tend to do is we will speak with the broker to try and absolutely illustrate that this claim is not payable. But we've enjoyed 4 years. So what we tend to do, and what has driven more, is we sit with our broker and we say, over the last 4 years, we have enjoyed a really good run. But this is a very important client to us. For this reason, we are not going to stand on the borderline side. We are prepared to settle the claim. Those are the only things that have driven more to where it is today in Rwanda. And with the staff having the same mentality. Take care of our staff, and that's part of the 4 pillars. We need to take care of our staff because our staff are the ones who actually lead everything into the market. If they're not happy at work, it doesn't matter how much you market. It's a waste of market. So, to the final two areas. So those are the 4 pillars. Now, on the enablers, I'm not going to touch upon the enablers much more than it looks there. They're here. It's the regulator, it's government, it's the partners we work together. If we do not have an ecosystem like this, at least that is about 90% to people coming on board to work with us, at 90% level, to work together, I think protecting Africans and providing access, affordability, and bringing awareness and trust is still going to take another, I don't know, it will probably take more years than I have been a professional in both banking and insurance. It's still going to be very difficult. So the enablers, I won't mention each one of them, but then you have the key stakeholders. We also need to work with several other layers within our institutions and several other layers when it comes to policy, when it comes to how we drive, including on the side of government, how we drive tax penetration. So I'll give a quick example before I wind up. When I joined retail banking from investment banking, it was the early 2010s, government took decisions to drive banking inclusion. Now, banking inclusion today stands at an average of about 80%. One of the main reasons was the fact that we fought for the government not to tax any banking products. Today, every single product in insurance is taxed. I don't think that is helpful at all. So inclusion will still be a challenge on insurance because tax is also a burden on that matter. So, outcome from my discussion, we need a vibrant, inclusive, and innovation insurance retail sector that protects more Africans than we do today, but we need an ecosystem. It's not a one-hit wonder, and we need a few more bankers like me who come in and throw away the old methods. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Konde. I don't know whether we need more bankers. I believe we can transform as insurers, right? So it's an honor for me to moderate the first fireside chat. And I would like to call my panelists whose
in management science, a promise is a debt. You are the one who has created that liability. And once you create a liability, those who are in banking and financial management, you cannot go home by closing. Those who studied finance, either you are journal or journal ledger, very many journals will make a journal ledger. Then very many journal ledgers will make a trial balance. So depending on the way you are closing your accounts, whether it is a tier account for one day, or many tier accounts for now a week to make a trial balance, or many trial balances to make now 1 month and then eventually 1 year to make a financial statement of P&L, is that you must ensure that liabilities are balancing with assets. So when we say, please deliver on the promise, it means you had the liability. And you don't want to close those who are working in banking or in a financial institution without balancing those accounts. So please, once you create that promise and you build that trust, when you are building trust, let me explain it like this. We didn't have enough time there. The way we build these houses, you see how this house is built? This is an architectural plan. but it has got those pillars, which is structural engineering. This pillar, that column there, is not in the architectural plan. Please, it is in the engineering design. It was done by a structural engineer. Now, once something especially has happened in the structural engineering design, which is the columns, and there is a crack that develops in this column, right now, everybody should run out of this building. If you don't do that in the next 5 minutes, you are really dead. So once the way that crack develops is the way you kill trust. Because once that crack has developed, how are you going to close it? You can pretend, bring a mason, he just fabricates something with cement and mortar and cover it, then bring painting. The only person who will rent this building is the one who doesn't know. But that crack will still come, and that's how trust works. That's how trust works. What am I saying? Never break trust. Especially those who are married. Some of us who are married, those who are married. You know that very well, we don't need to explain it to you. By the way, I didn't tell you on my CV, is Solomon still here? Those who are having difficult marriages, I'm going to say marriage counselor. In case your marriage is very, very difficult, you broke your trust between you and your partner. How do we build that trust back? This is what we are suffering. Even when I reach home now, I'm sure I'm going to find a couple waiting for us at home. I'm a graduate of Stanley and the Chobes, those who know the Chobes in Entebbe. I was not picked on the road that I became a counselor. I'm a professional one. I'm the one who brokers marriages so that our marriages can work. And what do? Is by building trust. Once you break that trust, those who are married, to bring that trust back, you know how you have suffered. So don't break trust in the business, especially when I give you money. Go and buy cows. Take them to my farm in Mbarara, here, wherever it is. And you don't. Start saying you had a problem. Also, you had somebody who was going to pay you, and after using my money, you will get paid. When do you know that that payment is going to come within a time, which I want? In conclusion, never break trust. Make sure you fulfill promises. By the way, just to cut the story short, my sister here, that's the way we measure girls and women. That's when we measure boys and men. People who are in very serious places, those who get serious phone calls, those who are doing that, and you start complaining that for you, your stepmother bewitched you, you will never reach anywhere, and so on. You failed to have a good character. You failed to have a person, you are not trustworthy. Nobody can depend on you. And you start saying for you, it is your stepmother who bewitched you. Nobody likes you. You are the one who is bewitching yourself. So you are the one who is bewitching your businesses. You are saying, you told me I pay you 15 million, I've told you. The car has a problem, you start now giving me trouble. Take this picture. Where was the sun coming from? And so on. This bird which broke my windscreen. Was the stone coming from where? What would you expect me when I'm driving to know where the bird is coming from? The bird came and hit the windscreen. The windscreen is broken.
Where is the gap? The gap is our failure as the insurance group to reach to the underserved community. That's where our failure is. We need to do a lot of spreading the gospel of insurance, because there are very many people there who don't even know what we do, and those who know what we do, there are some specifics they don't know. So as the professor talked about sensitizing or educating the client, that is something we should embark on to see that they also understand what exactly we do.
Thank you very much. So word has to reach the last man. We are doing a lot as in the insurance industry, as brokers, as insurers, but the message is not out there. Thank you so much, Joseph. To my sister, Elinipa, we would like to hear what brokers in Tanzania are doing differently as the human face to build trust. What can we learn from you?
Thank you, Rita. You know, as Tanzania, we are not far from the regional countries. You know, in the region, we are almost the same. But what is being done is that we are trying to change the narration that we're selling policies to the client. Rather, we are trying to help the client understand their business, provide solution for their business, and be with them in terms of any misfortune. Because now when you are only selling policies, just like any other, we become like any other distribution channel. But when you are there for the client, from the policy arrangement to the last point of probably the claim settlement, that's when now you become valuable. Unless you want to be irrelevant to the client, that's now you become just a policy seller. The other thing is that, as Professor has put, during the claim, that's now when the role of the broker is realized, because we understand as an insurer, my friend here has said they pay claim, but we understand in an insurance company there are two people. One is a claims manager or claims person, and one of the metric in their KPI is to reduce the claim quantum, is it? So then there is a salesperson whom one of the KPI metric is to increase the sale. So these two people now in an insurance company makes the broker now understand that the broker has to step at the shoes of the client, as Professor put earlier, that we are becoming empathic for our customers, because these customers trust that in case of anything, we'll be there for them. We'll be there to protect them. We'll be there to defend their cases. And we are now becoming advocates. And we are letting our clients know that we don't work for insurers. We work for them. We work for their interest. We work for them to be able to understand what they are being covered. The other time I had a conversation with one person, I think he bought a police, fire police on stock from an insurance company. I don't know whether it's a junior person who sold the police, but he sold him business interruption as a rider on fire police on stock. Now this client had a flood claim in somewhere in Morogoro. Now he's waiting to be compensated under business interruption police, only to realize he was sold an appropriate police. So this comes where now the broker is so important, at least to help the client understand what they are being sold and what they are buying from the insurance companies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elinipa. Indeed, as insurance brokers, we are the primary underwriters, and our role is to sensitize and make sure that the insurance buying public understands what they are buying. We are the human face. Lastly, to our regulator, Musa, let us confront an uncomfortable truth. Insurance penetration in Uganda remains amongst the lowest in sub-Saharan Africa, hovering below 1% of GDP, as we've heard. As a regulator, is this a statistic of concern? Speaking to the initiatives in place to change this trajectory, could trust be the missing variable?
Thank you. You've rightly put it. The statistic is a regulatory concern. However, it is not only a statistic, but rather an economic variable, which is a concern to us as the authority. Because when the penetration is low, as the keynote speaker mentioned, the main issue is not affordability. The main issue is the trust that the public has in the insurance. And so this kind of trust not being there and penetration being low means that our deputy governor was talking about the much efforts that has been put into the SMEs and the informal sector. However, again, the deputy governor mentioned that if risk is not tackled well, then that investment is not sustainable. So it becomes a concern to us as a regulator, one, because the informal sector sustainability is at risk. Ugandans, you are aware, and I think it is the same case in the region, that most of these SMEs and the informal sector are run by one person. And so, they are vulnerable. They lack surpluses to tap into in case of risks happening. And so, it becomes a concern to us as a regulator. But more so, it is an indicator of trust. So, as a regulator, we have scanned the whole chain of the cause of that mistrust. From the product itself, again, our keynote speaker mentioned a lot about the kinds of product we are putting to the public. And so, as a regulator, we have set out a separate regulation for the microinsurance space. There was a concern that we handle microinsurers just like the general public. I think there is a new regulation which was released last year, which now looks at microinsurance as a separate segment, which requires a special attention. The second aspect there is the language used in this product. For the few insurance players who have submitted microinsurance product recently, you must have seen the rigorous process of reviewing that product. We are now looking at the message you are sending to the customers. We are requiring the key facts document to include exclusions. You know, they have mentioned that the insurers pay only valid claims. The invalid ones are those that have been excluded. But we noted that there's need to put even the exclusions in bold and in the key facts document. So that is one intervention that the regulator has made to ensure that that chain is streamlined. So the product itself, looking at the microinsurance space as a special case, but also we are now strengthening the conduct of business supervision. Historically, we have been looking at the prudential supervision. Are companies liquid enough to pay claims? Do they have enough capital? But recently, our focus is on strengthening the conduct of business. Are claims being paid timely? And you might find that our CEO mentioned the risk-based approach that we are using. One of the key risk indicators currently we are using is the timeliness of paying claims. It's one of the risks. If your entity has a lag in paying claims, a long time lag, then you become a candidate for on-site inspection, and we come and review each and every file. So as a regulator, those are the checkpoints that we are putting in place. And in fact, the brokers need to be aware that the authority issued claim guidelines, claim payment guidelines, with stipulated timelines. And so what we actually do when we go to the insurers for on-site inspection is to check whether the insurers are paying within the stipulated timelines. You have talked about the broker being the face of that promise, and we are the watchdog of that promise. So the brokers, you need to be aware of the expectations of the regulator in terms of claims payment, so that the watchdog is doing the work, the broker, the human face is doing the right thing, and also the insurer are doing what they are supposed to do. Remember, there is also an aspect of professionalism. So for corporate business, the placement is usually focused on the commission for brokers. It is still persistent. Now, when we go to informal sector, we should focus on addressing the needs of the informal sector. Initially, it may not be profitable because, like they mentioned, the premiums can be very small and it doesn't make sense for you. But when you build scale, we are talking about insurance covering just 1 million, but we are 45 million. And so if you build scale, you deploy technology. We have developed a sandbox. We developed a sandbox where you can test your technology from. And if you customize on, rather deploy technology and enroll the masses, then the scale will come and the profitability will come from that segment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our regulator. Ladies and gentlemen, this conversation could go on and on, but there are very many key takeaways for us as insurance brokers. And one of them is, of course, that we need to uphold the highest ethical standards to self-regulate before the regulator must regulate us. I could go on and on, but allow me end like this. And of course, I know my panelists had so many insights, but we are pressed on time. Reimagining trust begins with reimagining ourselves as professionals, advocates, and custodians of a promise that has the power to change lives. To the insurance brokers in the room, consistently delivering on our promises as clients' advocates reinforces trust. To the insurers, our partners, we are partners. Your promises on cover confirmation create obligations. Please honor them when it matters most. I'll say that again. Please honor them when it matters most. These are the insurers. I hope you're listening. This will narrow the industry trust gap. Brokers, I thought you would clap. To the regulators, your role, Alhaji, this is for you. Your role is broad, and the obligations therein are far and wide. Your doors must remain open as you work towards being enablers. Effective regulation ensures safety, stability, and integrity in society through balanced oversight. To our insurance buying customers who are in the room today, we are because you are. Insurance Brokers Association of Uganda has chosen to kickstart a timely conversation for our industry. We are set to challenge the status quo, and you are the center of this aspiration. Speak out, we are listening. We'll close off by thanking my guests. Your insights, expertise enriched the conversation and provided our audience valuable perspectives. To you, our audience, I know we are standing between you and lunch. Thank you for being in the room, and we hope that this fireside chat was helpful. To the organizers, thank you very much. And to us all, the journey of trust is built with consistency. We begin today and keep at it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for our moderator for the first fireside chat. Rita, thank you so very much. And to the panelists, we appreciate you. Thank you so very much for sharing your knowledge. We appreciate every moment that you have shared in the first session. And ladies and gentlemen, just as we continue celebrating our first session of the fireside chat, I know for a fact that the room is getting hotter, and Gava knows how to cool us down. So Gava, over to you, please.
Once again, tell your neighbor, cool down. Tell your neighbor, cool down. Very good. Can you appreciate Rita and the entire team that she was with on the stage? Now, on the program, we are supposed to have our second fireside chat, which is supposed to be led by Isabella. But some of you, your look shows us that you are very tired than you came. So the committee, first of all, first clap for the committee. People keep asking me why this conference is special, because this conference has two bits. It has the knowledge and the relaxing. So the committee, through Chairman Paul and the conference convener have said that you have given them a look that is indicative of we are tired. Is that true? Thank you very much. So that's why they have decided that this second fireside chat, we shift it tomorrow, but only and only on the basis that you are here tomorrow by 8:45. I highly do not anticipate that you'll be here by 8:45. Because our keynote, who is the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, said to the people that are regional, said, enjoy our day life and enjoy our night what? Night economy. So it is a bit of a challenge. Staff of Mirai, ushers of Aiva, first bring one pack here. Bring one pack. It's important that I help you talk about what you're giving people. I can stop you. I hope this is mine. All right, good people, delegates. Mirai, our platinum sponsor, is giving us a pack. So can you clap for their leadership? CEO Joseph, we want to thank you. Now that we have saved some time, two things are going to happen. One, we agree, tell your neighbor that tomorrow you have to be here by 8:45. Tell your neighbor. Yeah, because we can't guarantee that all of you will be here, tell your neighbor, fear the Lord. Tell your neighbor, fear the Lord. That's the only way we can guarantee that you will be here. The rest of the things is very, very challenging. And so we will start with our first panel. So Isabella, you will be able to lead our first discussion first thing tomorrow in the morning so that we are able to catch up with time. So quickly, our afternoon conversation is very, very simple. Okay, so Alhaji and our keynote, I want to invite you once again for a photo session for us to commemorate this ceremony of the 8th edition in Mbarara. I want to invite you and our keynote to come here, and I want to invite Chairman Paul of IBAU, and I want to invite the conference convener together with the entire team that put up this conference to come for our first photo moment. And then that will be followed by our regional delegates, and I will continue giving the different persons that will show up on stage so that we can crown off our first session, our first half of the day with the photo moments. Alhaji and our keynote, I want to invite you to the stage with the Chairman Paul, together with the President Eba, to come to the stage. And of course, our platinum sponsor, Mirai. Please come to the stage. As they come to the stage, one of the newest insurance companies that we have on board is AAR. Are the staff of AAR here? Please stand up for recognition. Yeah, the entire line, please come to the front. AAR, can we clap for the newest insurance company we have? I want to understand, you are only 3 that came, or the entire company, or you are 6? Who is handling claims? Let them get ready to be busy. It's a difference from from medical here, but congratulations nonetheless. Where is your MD, or where is the person representing on top of the institution? You are the one. Okay, the rest of you sit down and we stay with the person on top of the institution. Can we clap for the senior person in AAR, General Insurance? Thank you very much, sir. Very good. Okay. I want to invite if you're next to Mr. Sol Seremba, Principal of ITC, together with the Chairperson, Board UIA, if Ruth is not here, the Vice Chairperson, if they're here, I need them to join in on this photo. If they are not here, I can have the regional delegates. Solomon, please join in on that photo. And then the regional delegates, please also join in. Now let me first start with IBA, the ones that first came to the stage. Please join in on that photo. Alhaji and Keynote. Alhaji? Yes, you're taking that first. Right, oh, okay. Good, you're just positioning. So I want to invite, yes, Mr. Sol Seremba, please join in on that photo. Mendes, not now. Okay, the team from IBA, please join in on that photo. Rita, tell Mendes not now. The team from IBA, please join in on that photo. Please balance. If anyone is close to Ruth Namuli as the chairperson of board, I need her to come. It's critical that she's in this photo as well. The chairperson, board UIA. If someone is close to Miss Ruth Namuli, please tell her that she's being needed urgently. Okay, she's here. Ruth, stand next to Alhaji, so that there's gender balance there. I want the rest. The team. Alhaji, that's for TikTok. So put effort so that. Yeah, Alhaji, that's TikTok and Snapchat. Okay, so the rest of us stay. The team from IBA, I'll allow you leave. The rest of us stay. I want to invite. Regional delegates. Yes, regional delegates, please come over. Regional delegates, please send me, if possible, please send me your CEO, if, the hierarchy. Please send me one person to make sure that we can be able to handle regional delegates. Okay, regional delegates, all of you please come, because now I am seeing that we are not moving as fast. Regional delegates. From Rwanda, from Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya. Difficult. Because MUA, you were in position number 72 years ago. Now you are in position number 1. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, regional delegates. I want to invite staff of IRA present, everyone that knows that works with the regulator. Please come. Governor, not yet, Governor, not yet. We are soon finishing, not yet. Staff of IRA, platinum sponsor, go back. Chairman, go back. Staff of IRA, please come. Alhaji and Governor, I want to tell you the photos are quite a number. So about 3 minutes. Okay, I want to invite all CEOs present. Let me start with the CEOs of insurance companies present. Please come. CEOs, only CEOs. Let me start with insurance companies, then I'll come to brokers. CEOs of insurance companies. Allow me align this photo this way. CEOs, allow me align this photo accordingly. The CEO of GA and the CEO of Old Mutual stand next to each other. So that once we share this photo to Alhaji, everything can move as planned. CEO of GA stand next to the CEO of Old Mutual, so that you can share. People, can we appreciate our underwriters? So after this photo, I want CEOs, these are underwriters. I want to invite the MDs of brokerage firms, CEOs and managing directors of brokerage firms, please come over for a photo moment. As our sponsors, you prepare. I'll start with brass, copper, 1 representative, brass, copper, bronze sponsors, sapphire, until we get to our platinum. Alhaji, once I say platinum, we'll be done. Delegates, please appreciate our leadership of the brokerage community. Let's clap for them. Judy of Smart Application, please take the stair. Let the gentleman just buy in there so that Thank you very much, Judy, for being here. People, we are not happy to see our CEOs at the front. We can't give them a clap. Okay. So allow me move to the sponsors. Brass sponsors, please send me one representative. I'll first have the photo of the brass sponsors, followed by copper. Brass sponsors, send me one representative. Everyone who is in the category of brass sponsors, please take the stage. Brass sponsors, one representative. If your CEO is here, you as the officer don't come. I'm just helping you protect your job. Okay, this is brass. As brass is getting done, I want to invite the copper sponsors. Copper sponsors. Copper sponsors, please come. Thank you very much, brass. Wait. People, it's important that you remember the category you sponsored. The photos. Okay, thank you very much, brass. I want to invite copper sponsors. Copper sponsors, please come quickly. Copper sponsors, let's move fast. Copper. Someone is asking what's the difference between brass and copper? It's money. Yeah, one paid more than the other. Yeah. Copper sponsors. Thank you very much. Yeah. Bronze light sponsors. Bronze light. Bronze light. Here we only have 3. Bronze light. Bronze light, please move faster. Can we appreciate our bronze light sponsors? Thank you very much, bronze light. Bronze sponsors. MUA, I know that you have a number of CEOs here. Feel free to come and represent MUA. Bronze sponsors. Okay. Let me move to Sapphire. Sapphire sponsor. Sapphire sponsor. I think the Sapphire sponsors, once they were done with the welcome party, they went back to Kampala. I'm struggling to find them. I think they are facing the impact of their party. When you serve, but remember that it's your money and you're like, let's eat together. Thank you very much. Silver sponsor. Silver sponsor, Britam. Gold sponsor, ICE Lion. Gold sponsor. Gold sponsor, ICE Lion. The way I see is taking their time. I imagine when they become platinum sponsor, I think they will take more time than. So we have 3 photos to close this, and one will be for the conference committee, another will be finally for the board of IBAU. But before I do that, our platinum sponsor, Mirai, please come. All the staff of Mirai, please come. Our platinum sponsor, Mirai, all staff of Mirai, please come. Staff of Mirai, I've been told that Mirai, you have a slogan, Mirai Jew. I don't know what that means. Mirai Jew. Where are they? Are they here? There's one who prayed for us before Mirai came in the country. You knew it will come. Before it sponsored, you knew it will sponsor. Can we clap for our platinum sponsor? So as I do the final photos, I want to invite the conference committee, those who are present, and then I'll end with the board of the Insurance Brokers Association. Conference committee, from Secretariat to everyone that has been part and parcel of the conference. So after this, I want to invite the board of IBAU to come. Thank you very much. Finally, the board of IBAU. Finally, the board of IBAU. So thank you very much, our regulator and keynote. We can now take our seats so that I share our final comments for this afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, our lunch is going to be served on the first floor and also around the swimming pool area. So we have 2 facilities. Our ushering team, courtesy of AIVA, should be able to direct you. The regional delegates, our regulator, together with our keynote, you will move to where the chair of IBAU is going, and that's where you'll have your lunch. We have some reserved space where you should be able to have your lunch. Tell your neighbor to listen. Tell your neighbor to listen. Tell your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, listen. So last year, we went to do the CSR, and the minute that you were in the room, only 6 people turned up. This year, don't do it. Tell your neighbor, don't do it. We have a project in the afternoon, which is the CSR, and it's in 2 segments. one around sickle cell awareness in collaboration with Mbara Hospital. And then the second one is a blood donation drive that is going to happen at the Amazon Market area. No, it's going to Mbarara University grounds. Sorry. The blood donation is going to happen at Mbarara University grounds. Now, it's important that you do not refuse to give the blood because of your thoughts about your blood. First give the blood, then the scientists will determine of whether they use or they don't. So tell your neighbor, you have to give the blood. Tell your neighbor. But some of you, when you go to donate blood, you first tell yourself that, do they really need my blood? Then you don't give. Leave it for the specialists to determine. So I want to encourage you that at exactly 4 p.m. we'll be departing from this place to go there. Please, 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 for every institution, please at least make sure you have a representative that goes to be a part of the project. But for the blood, all of you must go. Now, colleagues from Rwanda, your blood is important for regional collaboration. We shall talk more about that. It doesn't mean that I want to encourage also the Tanzanians and the Kenyans. Specifically, the Kenyan blood, we need it. I'll tell you why at lunch. I can't tell you here. But you need to make sure you come and give us the blood, so that we can get some attributes. Although, it's important for me to make mention that if there are more Kenyans that are giving blood, then the Tanzanians don't give. If there are more Tanzanians giving, then the Kenyans don't give. Because when you look at the two countries, the two blood can't work together. The Tanzanians, they are very, very humble. Then the Kenyans, they're up there. When the blood mixes, we may get something else. But that's just a light moment. On a serious note, we want the blood. But I want to strongly encourage the Rwandese, the blood. As a matter of fact, I need the blood. I think I should put it that way. So that's for the CSR. I want to encourage you to be there. Then, Team ICEA, please stand up once again for recognition. Team ICEA. Stand up as a proud employee of the institution. Can you give them a big, big round of applause? So ICEA is in charge of our night this evening, and they have said there's a lot. We have musicians, we have entertainers, we have dancers, we have performances, we have food, we have a lot. So we want to encourage you that by latest 6:45, please be in the tent so that we can fire the discussion. Okay, so regional delegates have been told that you're going to be in Mugema boardroom, and I'm sure that the ushers will pick you. I want to request the keynote, our guests of honor, regional delegates. Our ushers will pick you to show you where we're going to have our lunch from. To all the delegates, we need to show up with our wristbands. Yes, this is important for purposes of access for everything we are going to do. For purposes of recognition, this wristband is important, so I want to encourage each one of you to make sure your wristband is with you. And then we are going to okay, so the regulator, you and the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, the media has told me that before you go for your lunch, they need to ask you some questions in Luganda, Runyankole, and Ruchiga. Alhaji, good luck. Yes, the conference convener has reminded me of something very, very important, The principal officers of bank assurance that are here, please stand up for recognition. I need to know. Principal officers present of bank assurance. There are two. Please come to the front. Please come. This is the final thing we are doing. We go for our lunch. Like I said, lunch is going to be for all of us. We're going to go at the swimming pool area, first floor. The ushers should be able to guide us. Alhaji, allow me to disturb you one final time to come and have a photo with these people so that they live to remember that they were close to the regulator. Such moments never happen. Sir, please go there. Where's the photographer? Thank you very much, Alhaji. Ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, please show up for the CSR and prepare accordingly for the night courtesy of ICE. I want to thank you very much, and I want to wish you a beautiful lunch. Thank you very much. We meet for lunch and the CSR. People, day one, the conference, the first
We are very honored to have you here today as we launch the journey for the 8th annual IBAU conference. As the platinum sponsors this year, we are very happy to collaborate with the brokers, and at Mirai, we are very much aware that the brokers are very key in the kind of business we do. The theme of the 2026 IBAU conference, Trust, Reimagine, Delivery on our promise, is very key and pertinent to the vision and mission of our company. We believe in delivering promises, so that's why this collaboration is not just timely but intentional. So I'll just invite everyone to join us in Marara come 22nd April to 24th April as we embrace the future of insurance, as well as challenging the status quo. The future is Mirai, and the future is now. I thank you.
I can assure you on behalf of the committee that all is set, and all what we are waiting for you is to come and join us during that great event.
What is key for us is the delivery of that promise. So we'd like to also thank our sponsors that have made this whole exercise possible, led by Mirai, our platinum sponsors. Thank you so much. And all the other insurers who've come together to make this happen. And it is here that we assure you that we will do better, we will deliver as promised. Thank you.
We know that insurance brokers are the custodians of the trust that we've been talking about. These are the people who bridge the gap between the promise that we give to the people and the peace of mind that these people are looking for. The theme we have this year, it speaks to what we believe in as a company at Mirai. We believe in that trust. We believe in delivering the promise.
As we were launching our conference today, this time round we thought we'd launch it right where the action is. And no better place than to launch it in a primary school. As the insurance fraternity and the organizers here, when we were looking and thinking through how best we could support, yes, we did engage with the management of Kiswa Primary, and what came out clearly was the support of textbooks and scholastic materials. Together, the insurance industry has dug into their pockets and come up with materials worth 10 million shillings. So it is with so much humility and pleasure and appreciation that we are here together as the insurance industry in our small way to first share what we do have with Kiswa Primary School, but also to encourage the pupils here to think outside the box, take advantage of technology, and read as hard as possible so that you can come out the best version of yourselves.